Why, hello there, friends, family, and everything in between. This is Dylan from Alternate Universes bringing you another round of Modern. Now, I know we took a week off. I took off last Monday, so we didn't have any content. I got to work on some stuff for the stream, and really, just social media in general was a great old time. But let's get into the content. On the left, we have Zach Miller playing Teamer Rhinos, and on the right, we got Brady Monroe playing Prison Tron. Both of these people, pretty good with their decks. If I'm correct, Zach actually did very well at, I believe it was SCG Richmond, in one of the 20Ks, if I remember correctly. And then Brady, notably, also won an SCG 20K playing Prison Tron. So both of these people, I think Zach was also playing Rhinos at that event that he did super well at. So yeah, this would be a really good match. We have Zach leading on a Wooded Foothills, getting a basic forest, and suspending a Crashing Footfalls here. Brady leading on Urza's Mine into the research desk and a Mishra's Bauble. Now we are cracking the desk in response to the Bauble trigger during upkeep, which is kind of cool. Which I think Zach is asking for some quick clarification for here.
Oh, you're doing that upkeep, got it, okay.
Now, if anybody knows me, I'm not really a Tron gamer. I don't find the deck, like traditional mono green Tron, to be that interesting. Somewhere, Dan McCauley is screaming. But I will say the Prison Tron list, kind of cool. Also, Blue Tron, kind of weirdly seems like it'd be up my alley. I do enjoy playing around with big mana but we're still in the time window where I can't curse. I do enjoy playing with big mana stuff like Titan. Though Titan's more of a combo kill deck than it is a big mana play fun stuff. But these Tron lists have some pretty interesting stuff. Alright. Zach fetches out a Catch Your Triumph here. He's going to pass it, or not pass the turn. Shock into Steam Vents. We see double Violent Outburst in hand and a Fire Ice. That's a pretty good hand. Now, Brady does main deck, I think, 3 copies of Chalice of the Void. He might main deck 4, but there's always a chance because he's a Karn the Great Creator deck that he main decks 3, sideboards 1. Desk is getting activated here, going to get Tower. Now, luckily for Zach, Zach is in the position where even if Brady were to go cast a Chalice on 0, Zach can respond with the Violent Outburst. Ooh, there's a Spellscape. And an Ensnaring Bridge. That is going to prove problematic for the 4/4 Rhinos. Brady has 2 cards in hand. Bridge, I feel like not a card that you see get played terribly often anymore. Still a good card. I mean, it says your opponent can't attack you, and you get to set up your stuff. But yeah, I cannot remember the last time I've been bridged in Modern. Weirdly, I was like bridged in Legacy, not super recently, but far more recently than I was in Modern. I'm gonna make some Rhinos using those really cool custom Rhino tokens. I couldn't make them out when I was sitting over there at the end of the table, but they're pretty sweet looking. I can't really tell what they are still, but big fan. As we've talked about before, I'm very much in favor of when people get to customize their decks to the way that they like it. One of my favorite things about Magic is the ability to use whatever you want for tokens. Some games are very strict on what can and cannot represent your tokens. Right. Zach, attempting to ice down the Urza's Tower for Brady. Brady just paying 2 life to play to activate Spellskite. Mystic Forge coming out here. This will allow him to look at the top card of his deck at any time and cast colorless cards from the top of his deck. And it also has an activate ability when you can tap it and I think pay a life to exile the top card of your deck. I just want to double check and see if it's cast or play. Can you play your land for turn from the top of the deck?
Yeah.
Mystic Forge. Just cast. If it's an artifact card, our colorless non-land.
Yep.
I feel like there was more text on that part than there is. Alright, Brady playing out the cards in his hand, going down to 1 card.
Crashing Footfalls.
deck. Going to cast Crashing Footfalls off Suspend. Get 2 more Rhinos.
15 here.
Fetches a Scalding Tarn here. Just gets a basic island. I wonder if that means he's on Blood Moon. I wouldn't be too surprised. I feel like the Rhinos lists in the past have had Moon. Though I don't know if it's stock.
Let's brainstorm.
Let's see. This list has 3 of them in the sideboard. That might be stock then.
1 card in hand, so I'll just pass you.
Alright, Jace the Mind Sculptor coming out here. Brainstormed.
I like that forage or something.
See, I wonder if there's an argument here to Fate Seal Brady. The top card doesn't really matter, but you working towards a win condition with Jace, I guess the top card could matter because if you see like something like a Karn, you could bottom deck it and hope, you know, the card they draw for turn and the card they see with Mystic Forge isn't the card you just bottomed, but I don't know. I mean, brainstorming, right? Try and find a way to out the bridge. The thing is, you need 2 ways to out it. You need, especially in main deck, so you need what, Odawara and Boseiju is probably his only way to do it. Besides Brazen Borrower. But yeah, you need a combination of 2 things to get rid of it because you have to worry about the spell scout here. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. You can find your Boseiju and then minus the Jace on the spell sky, then kill the thing, and then crack in for damage. For lethal. Oh no, that's not even lethal. It's 1 point short of lethal. There's a Ballista, not giving caster 0. Just trying to fit in through the deck. Card minusing. Gets a Stone Brain. Cast a Stone Brain. We'll play a land for turn. We'll activate the Stone Brain.
Yep.
If I remember right, I think he names Odawara the Soaring City.
Name Odawara, Soaring City.
Gonna take a peek through the deck, see what all he has to worry about. There are some cards that are upside down. I believe they fixed that after this. Notably, players, if you are playing with opaque, any sleeves really, please make sure your cards are all facing the right direction. That can get you in trouble at a larger event. Alright, so 2 Odawars, you're getting exiled, 1 from hand, so that means Zach will, I believe, draw a card. I believe Stone Brain works the same way as the other ones, where you get some type of effect if your cards are removed from your hand. I just typed in Stone Brian. That is not correct. Yeah, draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. Now, we're kind of at a point where I don't know if Zach can win the game. Right, so one of the interaction points from the main deck has been removed.
I'm going to pitch Outburst.
Going to pitch Cast a Fear here, evoking, or by exiling a Violent Outburst. That Violent Outburst is exiled. That gets fixed in a hot second. I can't tell you how sad I am that the Violent Outbursts from the Philly Secret Lair are only in foil. I would love to have those cards in my deck, but I don't play a foils in Magic, so I can't do it. I have them. They're just sitting somewhere. Like, notably, I don't actually know where they are, because I'm dumb. But I'd love to be able to use them. Alright, so we have an Urza Saga Search Trigger resolving. I imagine... so the Pissing Needle's already happened on Jace. We missed that a couple turns ago. It is sitting off camera. I remembered it happening. I felt like it was the turn cycle after Jace came down. I think Zach got a turn with it, which would make sense with the whole 3 loyalty counters on there. Going to cast a Serum Powder here.
Yeah, that's good.
Just taps for a mana at this point. Alright, 2 mana Cracks Expedition map. Goes and fetches another Urza's Tower. And plays a Mystic Forge from the top of the deck. I feel like this game is pretty locked up here. There's no definitive kill condition on the board, but
16.
it feels like we're just spinning wheels.
15.
Goes and gets a Ratchet Bomb. Casts a Ratchet Bomb. Force negation on the Ratchet Bomb. That playmat is like slowly falling into Zach's lap. Alright, so I see Fury, what looks like a Force negation, and there was something else there. Bubble shows a card. Cracks the desk. Takes a Microsynth Gardens.
It's a good game too. Yeah.
And Zach just gonna scoop it up. Brady will be taking game 1 with Prison Tron over Teamer Rhinos. And we're gonna be back in just like a hot wow, look at that. It beat me to the hot second thing. Brady's resolving a mulligan with Serum Powder here. You can see those cards exiled. Going to play Urza's Tower into a Expedition map. It's interesting. I want to say this, like, Rhinos is fast enough to kill Tron. But if Brady is able to establish the lock pieces, it can get really grindy.
I'm gonna shortcut for a forest.
Cracks 2 fetches here. Do we have the Shardless Agent? A Moon could also be pretty good here because it just wastelands Brady. Brady will get the search with the map in response, but Shardless, Cascade Trigger.
2 Rhino.
Oh. Crashing Footfalls getting cast off of Suspend here. Not Suspend, Cascade. The word I just said. Zach's got a solid 2-turn clock here. That's the thing I love about Rhinos. The deck can grind pretty well, but your initial game plan is just so fast. Map coming out here for Brady. Zach's gonna untap, jam for 10.
Clear attacks.
Cutting Brady's life total in half.
Pass you.
map getting cracked here. Going to find a power plant. If I have any Tron players in who are watching currently, here's your question of the week. What Tron lands do you like to use? Are you OG Tron lands type of person? Do you like these? Or do you use the Double Masters Full Arts? What are you rocking with? When I attempted to play Tron, these are the versions that I used. There's something about Tower that just makes me think of Star Wars, so I'm here for that. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that art. It just makes my little nerd brain go, Star Wars. Alright, making a construct. Though we know Zach has a Fury, and he... does he have a red card to pitch to the Fury? There's a Pithing Needle here. Going to Violent Outburst. And Brady just going to scoop it up. Game 2 going to Zach here. Quick game, quick game. Why did I put him at 18 there? 20. That makes sense. Alright, we are serum powdering again for that mulligan. We are resolving mulligans. Usually I cut it before this point. So, there we go. Brady, on the play with an Urza's Mine. Plays a Mishra's Bubble. Did I say Urza's Bubble? Mishra's Bauble? Mishra's. The one that's legal in Modern. Alright. Tower coming down here. I genuinely don't know which one I said. Chalice of the Void. On 0. See that Force of Negation rising. Does he not have the blue card to pitch to it? Right, Spellskite. Draw the Force of Vigor for turn. That's pretty good. Can't tell if he has the green card to pitch to it. I can't really tell if he has the other card to pitch to Force either. There's a card in the middle of Zach's hand that I'm not exactly sure what it is. Alright, Mags of the Moon here, coming out. Pretty will crack map and fetch and response gets a power plant. The missing Tron piece. Alright, Walking Ballista here. X equals 2. We'll give Brady the way to answer Magus of the Moon. No reason to do it now, though. Why give Zach access to his proper mana again? Let's leave him on a Forest and Mountains. Forest and Mountains does, however, cast Violent Outburst. The card that my brain just keeps wanting me to call Raging Tempest, and that is a Yu-Gi-Oh set from like 2016, so 2017.
Yeah.
Alright. Magus gets shot down. Is it Magus or Magus? I've been mispronouncing this card for years. Alright, another spell skate here.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Ensnaring Bridge coming up.
One man floating on casting another bridge. Yeah.
16.
Going to cast a Force of Vigor here. Going to target the 2 spell skates. Now he has to deal with the 2 Ensnaring Bridges and the Chalice of the Void. He does have a Brazen Borrower in hand, and what looks like Odawara. Yeah, it's an Odawara. Looks like Odawara, Brazen, Fury, Double Force.
I mean, it looked like he had engagement. Maybe that was just a blow.
Alright, Micahson's Garden's coming out here for Brady. 3 Ensnaring Bridges now. 4 Ensnaring Bridges. Brady said, you have to answer everything. What an interesting... I was going to say, it's weird that Zach played the Odawara's land for turn instead of holding it, but it was the second blue source. That makes sense. Draw a bubble, cast a bubble. Cycle a trio. Folks, if you are Zach at this point, if you're playing, do you concede to this? I imagine there's an out that Zach is playing to. He has 2 Brazen Bars. The problem is, I just don't know how you answer the 5 impactful artifacts that Brady has. Force on Karn, sure. Walking ballista here. A very big walking ballista.
Yeah.
Let's go 7, 6. Yeah, 7.
Petty theft.
Brazen bar, petty thefting. Brady going to remove 6 counters in response. Shoot Zach down to 9.
I'll cast Brazen Bar.
It'll go back to his hand.
Wait, my turn?
Imagine we're going to see just Brady play it again.
Seven, yep.
Ballista X will equal 7. Passes the turn. And then if Brady gets to untap, he just gets to put counters on it and kill Zach. So I don't really know if there's a way Zach survives.
Yeah, I was looking for a second.
He would like need to shatter the ballista.
Not many
Yeah.
great lines out. Good
All
game.
right, game 3 will be going to Brady on Prison Tron over Zach's team of Rhinos. Thank you for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.
I mean, I could directly